Hey guys, so I'm gonna react to several things relating to the New Jersey governor race. That also includes uh, races for the people who are gonna be part of the state assembly and also possibly the state senate and some mayor races and stuff. So it's a very important election, the New Jersey primary and general election of 2025. So mainly gonna focus on the governor positions, the people who are running for governor. And this is a video from Trump, specifically from the CBS News. It's around 13 days ago. This is more in earlier May 2025. And talks about Trump basically, looking over who's going to be the next governor. And then I'm going to give my perspective on who I think should win. I'm going to talk about some of the policies of the governors who are running, specifically the Democrat governors. Let's see how the video goes.
Welcome back. New Jersey is one of two states holding elections for governor this fall. The other, as frequent viewers of this program know, that's Virginia. But New Jersey, Democrats battling lead the Garden State. Well, they gathered last night for their final primary debate. You can see that right there. They managed, well, it was a primary conversation, so they were clashing with each other, but they did agree on one thing. Listen. Donald Trump is a criminal, and he keeps breaking laws left and right. This guy.
Man, that's true. Donald Trump is a criminal. He's been convicted of what, I think 36 felonies. So he can say over 35 felonies, convictions, and he's still the president. He's been doing a lot of fascist like actions. They're all based on Project 2025, which is all fascist based. It basically makes someone a dictator, which is what Trump loves. He's a wannabe dictator. So I agree to that. Not surprisingly, that a lot of the Democratic governor governors or people running for governor position as a Democrat will be against Trump. He's very terrible for poor working class, middle class people, and he's very fascist. So majority of Democrats will pretty much be against him.
Trump is going to come in, as we know, as Steve just said, on everything and try to go after our dollars, try to go after reproductive freedom. He's going to do it on every front. And the job of the governor, which I'll do, is to fight him.
We are facing the most corrupt president this nation has ever had. He's attacking people.
The thing I gotta say is, and what I think also is that the people I trust somewhat the most, at least for Democrat standards, I'm going by the Democrat Party. They are not socialists. Keep that in mind. But the ones I think would be the best for New Jersey will either be Ras Baraka or Stephen Fulop. They both were mayors, which Baraka is still the current mayor of Newark, while Stephen Fulop is the mayor of Jersey City. Very hard to run the cities. I already made a video about this before. I talked about who I think should what I would recommend people in New Jersey to vote for. But I'll mention again. My first choice, if I was New Jersey resident, I would choose Baraka. I think he's kind of more like someone who connects with the average folks, understand them in more of a personal way. And the way he keeps fighting against Trump, with the filing lawsuits against ICE because of the way they're treating undocumented immigrants in Newark, and the way he was arrested, which I also made a video about, and then the next day he was released. It's just I find interesting that I think he really will fight harder against Trump. Stephen Phillip is good in terms of policies. I think Barack also. Barack is really good with the policies too. Stephen Phillip I think is more straightforward and more understanding and with his policies, and less of a dreamer like policies and more straight to the point what is actually feasible. You can say, which is not a bad thing. Uh, and I think it's a good option. I don't think it's as energetic or as more connected with the public as Barack, in my opinion. My personal opinion, I prefer Barack as a governor of New Jersey as the next one, as the next governor for the state of New Jersey. Um, I understand people may have issues with him. I think Fulop is also a good option. So if you don't want Barack, they have Fulop. I think everyone else, like Mickey Sherrill or Gallheimer, Sweeney, and Sean Spiller, they're okay, but I don't think they'll be the best option. I've spoken to a lot of people in New Jersey, especially with my job in the film action your field. A lot of them would prefer to have either Baraka or Stephen Fulop. That's more the ones they tend to trust. And so in my field, I talk to a lot of people from other states who work in the EO or film action field, In general, they're probably more leaning towards Baraka or Fulop. Not because I'm saying that Cheryl or the other ones are terrible choices. I just don't think they're great choices. I don't think they're the best ones. I think Baraka and Fulop will be better for New Jersey based on the policies, based on the way they have conducted themselves, the way the Fulop went after Bob Menendez, who was also very corrupt, really early on. Uh, the way he supports certain policies, certain things, especially regarding public transit. Stephen Phillip is very vocal about it. The most vocal one about enhancing public transportation in New Jersey. And Brock is also pretty good with that, but Stephen Phillip is definitely more expanded in terms of at least discussion possible chance of expanding and improving New Jersey public transit. Cheryl, not so much. Cheryl should be stay in politics. She should stay in Congress. She's better off being in Congress. You don't want to lose people in the House right now because that would be bad. So you really, I would recommend people not to vote for her so she can stay in Congress. We need every single Democratic Congress right now. It's really crucial. Republicans, I'm not gonna talk much about them. They all the Republicans running for the governor race in New Jersey, all bullies to Trump. They're all fascists like the Republican Party is done for. I don't recommend voting for any of them, whether it's at the local, state, or federal level. Don't vote for Republicans. They're a dumb party. Unless you want fascism, unless you want more people okay with treating others like crap and removing their rights, you choose who you want to vote for. I just don't recommend voting for any Republican. End of story. So I will not be making videos about Jack Chiarelli or among the other ones. Republican Party is done. I read the policies. I've seen videos on my personal time with them, on my own personal time to watch them, like I do with the Virginia race or Texas races, and they're all the same crap. They all kiss the ass of Trump. Don't vote Republican is my suggestion. It's why I give a tip as they are not the party for the people. They're the party for the rich and the wealthy, even more so than the Democrat Party. Yes, the Democrat Party is not perfect. I have my complaints about them, but they do much more for the poor, working class, middle class at the moment than the Republican Party, and they have been since the 1960s, bare minimum. It's just a fact, and it just keeps getting worse every time. You keep choosing Republican governor or Republican president or Republican Congress member. They always do everything to screw the people who are making the least. People making poor wages in the state, or they're just getting by. They just made a middle class, and now they cannot go any up. They cannot go above it. They just stagnated, and there's nothing the Republicans do for them unless they're forced to do something. It's never out of their own nice way to just I'm gonna do this because I want to. It's more I have to do this, or people definitely vote for me, or there's a pandemic, so I have to do something. That's really it. I seen what Phil Murphy has done, who was the current governor of New Jersey. He has done a lot for the people, much better than Chris Christie did. Chris Christie screwed so much for 8 years straight, and he was a Republican, obviously. Like in time, people don't vote Republican. And this is not just for New Jersey. This is for Texas. This is for Virginia races. This is for any race in any. I don't care what state you live in. I don't care if it's Minnesota. I don't care if it's Maryland, Mississippi, Alaska. Don't care. Don't vote Republican because they do not work for you, aka the people, the constituents. They work for whoever is the current Republican president and the rich and the wealthy. Which again, Trump is a billionaire, so they're just gonna do whatever he wants to do based on Project 2025. Keep that in mind.
He's attacking Medicaid. He's attacking the Department of Education.
Here to dig into all this, Brent Johnson, politics reporter for NJ.com, an outstanding source of information about all things New Jersey. Great to have you with us. Size up this race for my audience. Where is it? I've read that Mikey Sherrill, the congresswoman from the 11th district, should be running away with this because she has a lot of establishment support. But
Yeah. So the whole Cheryl situation, Mikey Cheryl, again, I don't think she should be voted for the next governor. She's also very pretty much similar to Kamala, not very progressive. Would do small good things, but not do much improvements. But you don't want to lose anyone from the House right now. You don't want to lose any Democrats in the House. So I suggest people not to vote for her, especially because of that. You got to kind of vote in a strategic way. Voting for Baraka or Stephen Fulop, you're not gonna lose much. It's just the mayors of Newark. One's the mayor of Newark, the other's mayor of Jersey City. and they can also be replaced by someone who can do as good or better job than them, and then they can run the state, and that'll be safer also. And they just have better policies than anyone else who's running for governor, Democrat, Republican, and those two really, in my opinion, care more about and understand how New Jersey work better than the rest of the people running for governor.
Isn't yet.
Yeah, that's pretty much true. She's considered the establishment candidate, the one that many top Democrats would like to see win. But the problem is there used to be something known as the county line in New Jersey, which is where party bosses and the power structure in the party put their thumb on the scale, basically endorsed a primary candidate beforehand, and that got thrown
Yeah,
out.
Cheryl is basically what you expect from APAC and the DNC would love to have, but she's not gonna be progressive. So I just say keep her in Congress for now until you can get someone better to replace her. Again, she's like another Kamala Harris, like I said earlier.
Court last year during the U.S. Senate race in New Jersey. So this year there's kind of an even playing field. So Cheryl is still considered the front runner. Public polling shows her ahead, and that she's more ahead in recent days.
And I want to play some sound from Ras Baraka, who is the Newark mayor, talking about the way people are looking at this race within the Democratic conversation, how they might be holding him back. Let's listen.
There are people up here on this stage that are stoking fear out in the community. They're saying that they're the only ones electable and nobody else is electable. I think if all of us support whoever is the nominee, that person is in fact electable. And I'm going to tell you why they say I'm not electable. One, because I'm from Newark. Two, because I'm too.
One thing I like about Ras Baraka, again, he talks in a way that's easy to kind of connect with him. It doesn't feel as robotic. He feels very like someone, like a neighbor, next to you, like your neighbor next to the house or in one of the apartment building. Your neighbor across from you in the apartment building. He gives me that vibe. Like you can actually talk to him, outside of the business too, and get a good connection with him. Stephen Fulop is good, but Fulop, I don't think he connect with him in a personal way. It's very business and kind of stay away. But he would do his job, but he's hard to connect with. I think he would do a good job, but I just think Baraka is just better at communicating with the public. I don't think Cheryl would do a good job against a Republican in the governor race. I think she actually would lose Austin in the long term. Her being very much like Kamala Harris, it's gonna be hard for people to kind of move on from that.
Progressive, and three, because I'm too black.
Brand of value.
Let's be honest. He does have more progressive policies in general than anyone else running for governor. That includes Stephen Fulop, and he's also black, person of color, so that'll be even harder for people to even choose him as the primary choice, right, for the primary election nominee. So we're gonna see if he's gonna win or not. It's a tough one.
Wait that, and Ras Baraka's candidacy.
Well, Barack is running in the progressive lane. He's fighting another big city mayor, Jersey City Mayor Steve Fulop, for the progressive vote in the primary, and they're both trying to surge over Cheryl in this primary. And the whispers in the Democratic Party are kind of that Barack is too left leaning, and he's saying that some people have whispered that the state's not ready for a black governor. And so,
Yeah, that's the problem. Like I like people to be more left leaning. None of these choices are obviously socialist and not even really proper social, not even social democrats really. But at least they're more left leaning than Republican, obviously. And Barack, in my opinion, is the most left leaning out of all these choices that you can choose on the Democrat side. Again, the Republican side, they all Trump kiss asses. They bootlickers. They care about corporation completely. That's why I keep suggesting don't vote Republican. If you care about the poor, working class, middle class people, women, people of color rights, the rights of LGBT plus Q community members, because LGBTQ plus community members also get really targeted heavily by conservatives, aka Republicans, and that includes also women, people of color. So keep that in mind.
he brought that out to the open yesterday or last night and said that we need to stand up, and as a party we have to show our left colors, our blue colors, and that's not what this race is about. But there is a concern that while New Jersey is a blue leaning state, that Donald Trump performed here much better last year than he did in the past, and that it's
To be fair, big reason of that is that less people actually went out to vote overall in the 2024 election, at least for the Democrat side. So in general, states didn't have as many people voting against Trump because Kamala was not what people wanted.
kind of a little more purpley now, and it'll be more difficult to win in November again, if you're not a more moderate Democratic candidate.
And Brent, fast forward this to the general. Jack Ciattarelli is going to win the Republican nomination by all estimates. He's endorsed by President Trump. How does that general election look?
Yeah, Jack is pretty obvious going to be the choice. He's been winning the Republican primary for a while now. He lost to Phil Murphy twice, but he has been winning. But we'll see. I really, if people choose him, then they say he's kind of done for. This every election, local, state, and federal level matters. I don't care what state you live in. Every election matters. Local, state, and federal. Primary matters just as much, if not more than in general, because that's when you have more options. And people don't take it seriously. I don't care if you live in Mississippi, New Jersey, New York, Cali, Texas, Alaska, not North Dakota, etc. I don't care where you live in the U.S. You need to take every election, local election, state elections, and federal elections seriously. Otherwise, don't complain later when all your options are people like Biden, Kamala, like you know, Sweeney. Sweeney's not that great. He's also someone who's been found to be connected with Norcross for a while. Was a big, rich person in New Jersey and has a lot of connection with some shady stuff. So I'm like, now if people want to have better options in the Democrat side, you gotta go out of your way to educate yourself and vote and run for office if you can.
I know we don't know who the Democratic nominee is, but there are some signs where that race might be heading.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough race for the Democrats no matter what. New Jersey, again, is a blue state, but they tend to go back and forth between governors here, between each party. You had Chris Christie, then you had Phil Murphy. It's been since the last time we had a party win 3 terms in the governor's office in a row was 1961, just 3 years before the Beatles, appeared on Ed Sullivan. So it goes to show you that it will not be an easy race for the Democrats. The Republicans are expected to say,
So that's Jack. I hear people don't know.
Want 4 more years of Phil Murphy, but the wild card here is Donald Trump. Trump may have done a little bit better last year, but his presidency has already been polarizing. How does that play out? Does that hurt the Republicans in their chance to take back the governor's office?
In my, Trump has endorsed some people who end up losing, at least in this state elections for the state assembly, state senate of the states. So it's possible. We will see.
Hey, Brett, real quickly, the results 2024 to 2020 showed a 10-point drop for the Democratic nominee. Are Democrats reconciling themselves to that? Do they have some answer for why they did so much more poorly in 2024 than 2020?
Well, New Jersey.
I will argue the reason why they did poorly, one, the pandemic, also impacted inflation. A lot of things people blame whoever is the current party of the president. If they don't fix it, it's their fault. Another thing is a lot of them are not that progressive. A lot of Democrats are just status quo Democrats who come in there, they'll do a little bit of improvements, incremental positive improvements, but nothing big. Nothing like let's really pass universal healthcare based on a single payer system. It's more like, let's see what we can do to keep, Obamacare alive, Affordable Care. Or, what can we do to enhance a little bit Social Security, benefits. Or let's see if we can fund a little bit more American instead of having American for all, aka universal healthcare. What can we do to reduce the cost of maybe dentistry work, but never something that will fully remove that. And let's just forgive student loans that indefinitely. It's like maybe you can forgive some student loans. It's always things like that. It's always incremental positive changes, but nothing big. And people are getting tired of that.
There's high property taxes and a high cost of living, and you'll hear Democrats here talk a lot about how we need to make the state more affordable because that's where they think Republicans are going to attack the most. And their argument is that Donald Trump has not been good for the economy so far. So
Trump is never good for the economy unless you're a billionaire or a multimillionaire, because his tariffs have increased the price of everything: groceries, the cost of fixing cars, because of the components, the things you need to replace the stuff in your car, like the pads for your braking pads, etc., tires too. So everything has gone up, and Republicans just increase the deficit. They never decrease it, and they make everything more expensive.
you don't want to put a Republican in charge here. You want things to be more affordable in New Jersey.
It's correct.
NJ.com's Brett Johnson.
Yeah, he's right about that. I don't disagree. Absolutely correct. Republicans want to make things worse, not better. So I'll quickly talk about other things. New Jersey race for governor, what to know. The important thing is that tomorrow is a day of early voting in the state of New Jersey. It starts on June 3rd and ends on June 8th, if I'm not mistaken. So right here, each county in New Jersey, there are 21 counties. From Tuesday tomorrow, June 3rd, 2025, until Sunday, June 8th, is early voting. Day of the last day to vote, the official day is June 10th of 2025. So make sure you look at the early voting locations, which over here will have them. I'll make sure to put this in the description, like I did with that video. And this talks about some more bellwether elections. Focus also on who you're gonna put for the state senate, state assembly, mayor, sheriff. Again, make sure you vote for people who are Democratic at least. Don't vote Republican or any of them. They will not be good for you. Uh, Quickly, I'll talk about like this Steve Sweeney's page. He's talking about issues he's gonna be fighting for. Probably helping for New Jersey, fighting for New Jersey workers, lowering housing costs, which they always talk about, cutting taxes on the for the average New Jerseyan, keeping New Jersey safe, lowering energy prices, fighting for disability rights, fighting for New Jersey seniors, the New Jersey Builders Agenda, improving higher education, ensuring access to education, etc. You know, there's several things he wants to do. I'm just going to quickly talk about the policies I will put in the description. So Cheryl, she has some issues she also will be talking about. Um, Affordable housing, affordability housing, healthcare costs, abortion, reproductive rights, of course, early childhood, education, transportation. New Jersey, we already have in New Jersey, New Jersey has abortion rights enshrined in the state law, and the protection for and they also enshrine the rights of LGBTQ plus community members, working family and labor. So that's a good thing. So in this one, Sean Spiller, the issues we're gonna talk about. Housing, that's always a big one. Healthcare, childcare, climate change, clean energy, democracy, jobs and labor, education, LGBTQIA plus rights, gun violence prevention, typical stuff as well. So this is Josh Gottheimer. His page as well. He's already asking for donation. So I can click on things that he wants to talk about. His plan, fighting hate and racial disparities. Josh low cost brand for Jersey. Stop trying to protect Jersey values brand. The thing about Josh Gottheimer, he's also someone who gets really a lot of APAC money. He doesn't want to talk much about it. He may not like Trump. I get it. You know who does, especially when you're more left leaning. But he's not amazing. He's not progressive. Expect him to be no better than you know Kamala Harris either. It's him and Shara around similar levels. Shara I think being maybe slightly better. This is Stephen Fulop. His policies, they're more straight to the point. You can click on them for more details and later when you click on the link. Private safety and criminal justice, transportation, infrastructure, that's a big one for him. Housing policy, health and human services policy, education, meaningful government reform, sustainability initiatives and energy, affordability plan. Very straightforward stuff. There goes more in detail. This is Ras Baraka. He talks about, his people budget. Here's a link that talks about his budget in a little more detail in 2 pages. Accurate is a North Star. More information about that. Reform income tax breaks to make things a little bit cheaper for certain income households. Um, this is more about his policy. You can click on them and you can really read in more detail. So you can click there to go through that. Um, and that's basically it. This is just a website that talks about the Democrat crash over immigration tax and transit inherited first debate they had. This is back in February 10, 2025. So a lot of them talk about a lot of similar stuff. Nothing really new, to be honest. Just a lot of the same things they've been discussing about that is in their policy. In general, if I were to choose the person, like I said, there's a lot of options here. I would go with Baraka overall, if not Stephen Fulop. And that's my opinion. But you guys can read more in detail. Let me know in the comment section who you would choose to vote for if you live in New Jersey and the reasons why. Maybe you can have a discussion. Don't forget that tomorrow is early voting day and June 10th is the last day you can vote for the primary election in New Jersey. And if you like the video, follow us. If you like the video, like and subscribe. And if you're watching this TikTok, follow us on TikTok. And if you're enjoying our videos that we do, I do have a Patreon. You could donate as low as $1 just to support the channel and myself. And if you want the exclusive videos, which I'm working on making specific videos just for the $3 tier, which is $3 a month, you can also subscribe to that. I'm gonna make videos just for the $3 tier, things that I either want to talk about personally, and things I may or may not be able to talk about on YouTube without getting a warning or strike, whatever case may be. So I'll be doing that. So I hope everyone has a safe and good day. And again, don't forget to vote if you live in New Jersey.